UFC 297 in Toronto on January 20th is just around the corner, and the main event features Dricus du Plessis. Even though some people thought Khamzat Chimaev might get a shot at the middleweight title after beating Kamaru Usman, it's actually du Plessis who's getting the chance. He's been on fire with 6 wins in a row and a big knockout win against Robert Whittaker in July at UFC 290. Du Plessis, also known as Still Knox, is feeling pretty sure he can end Sean Strickland's title reign quickly. Looking ahead, du Plessis is not just confident about UFC 297, he's also sure he can stop whoever comes next for a title shot. So let's dig in and find out more about who might win, how things might unfold, and what these fighters have to say about each other. Dricus du Plessis, hailing from Hatfield, Pretoria, is an Afrikaner with a rich martial arts background. His journey began at the age of 5 when he started training in judo, later transitioning to kickboxing at the age of 14. Du Plessis achieved the title of WAKO World Champion in K1 style kickboxing, but financial considerations led him to switch to mixed martial arts. Beyond the realm of combat sports, du Plessis showcased his versatility by actively participating in rugby during his school years and has remained an avid supporter of the South African national rugby team, the Springboks. Despite initially pursuing agricultural economics at the University of Pretoria, he chose to abandon his studies in the final year to dedicate himself entirely to a career in mixed martial arts. Du Plessis gained recognition in the middleweight division of the Extreme Fighting Championship, where he held the titles for both middleweight and welterweight. Du Plessis started his pro career in 2013 and did really well with a 4-0 record. But then he faced Gareth McClellan, who later went on to the UFC at EFC Africa 33. Unfortunately, du Plessis lost in the 3rd round because of a guillotine choke submission. However, his professional journey also took him to the Polish-based promotion Konfrontacja Sztuk Walki, where he claimed the welterweight championship. Currently, as of 2023, du Plessis stands at number 2 in the UFC middleweight rankings, showcasing his prowess and achievements in the world of mixed martial arts. As we step into the first part of 2024, there's a lot of excitement about how du Plessis is going to show off his amazing skills. In a recent chat with James Lynch for My MMA News, du Plessis talked about his upcoming chance to become a champion in the big leagues of MMA. He also shared thoughts on a potential opponent after he won the title. Even though Khamzat Chimaev only has 1 win in the middleweight division, many people expect him to fight for the championship next. Du Plessis, known as Boars, has a strong opinion about Chimaev's strength, thinking he's a bit confused about how tough the top middleweights are. Du Plessis said, "The UFC is probably going to want to do Khamzat next. I would gladly, as champion, take out the boogeyman. It would be a massive pleasure. He's going to try to take me down as he should. I don't think he realizes the power difference between 170 and 185. Talking about Chimaev's fighting style, du Plessis mentioned, "He tries to outpower everybody he fights because he wants to show how strong he is. If he fights me and he fights that way, he's gonna find out what strength really feels like." But before du Plessis thinks about facing Chimaev, he needs to win the UFC title, which would add another accomplishment to his list. He's already been successful in EFC in South Africa and KSW in Europe, and now he's aiming for the UFC gold. Moreover, there's a bit of a storyline between the champion, Dricus du Plessis, and another fighter, Israel Adesanya. People thought they might have a tense rivalry in the UFC's middleweight division, Du Plessis earned a chance at the 185-pound belt held by Adesanya after beating Robert Whittaker. But surprisingly, it was Sean Strickland who faced Adesanya and won in September. Adesanya then took a break from the UFC, and when Du Plessis talked to MMA reporter James Lynch, he said he didn't have any hard feelings about Adesanya taking time off. Du Plessis mentioned, "The man was active. That's one thing we can say about Adesanya as a champion. He showed up. He didn't shy away from fights. He fought everybody, some people twice. He was very active as a champion. I think he deserves some time away from the sport." However, Du Plessis did mention that if Adesanya stays away from fighting for too long, he might regret it when he finally returns. He said 2027, Du Plessis mentioned. If he comes back in 2027, he's gonna get hurt. He shouldn't do that, but taking some time off, maybe taking a year off, that would be good for him. Du Plessis also admitted that he has some negative feelings toward Adesanya as a person. However, he clarified that when it comes to Adesanya as a martial artist, he has a lot of respect. "I think as one of the best to ever do it in the middleweight division, he deserves to take some time off. Right now, as a person, I do not like Adesanya for obvious reasons," he said. "As a fighter, as a martial artist to another martial artist, a guy that I know also embodies the martial artist way, he needs to stay strong right now. He can't lose it. He can't lose it outside of the ring." The Strickland versus Du Plessis fight is going to reveal more about Strickland's grappling skills, which we haven't seen much of recently. In his last fight against Abos Magomedov, Strickland faced some takedowns, but managed to get back up and defend well. Du Plessis is likely to try a mix of tactics, and Strickland plans to use his boxing and counter moves against Du Plessis' openings. Du Plessis is known for his strategic offense, but sometimes his defense is not as strong. Strickland has a more textbook style, so it'll be interesting to see if Du Plessis' unpredictable moves can work against that, or if it might be too messy for him. Strickland is good at going 5 rounds, but Du Plessis has been finishing his fights quickly. This might be the first time Du Plessis goes the full 5 rounds, and there's talk about his improved cardio after surgery, but we'll have to see it in action. As the anticipation builds for the upcoming bouts and the potential matchups in the UFC, we want to hear from you. What do you think will come out on top in the Du Plessis versus Strickland clash? And what about the intriguing dynamics with Adesanya? Share your thoughts, predictions, and opinions in the comments section below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell to stay in the loop on all things combat sports. Stay tuned, fight fans!